Raw took place tonight in Houston, Texas, in front of another sold-out show. The fans in Texas really came out tonight, just like they did on Friday for SmackDown. To start the show off, we saw the Judgment Day arriving in the parking lot. You saw AJ trolling Dom to start the show because Dom, it was scheduled tonight to determine if he was going to be cleared for SummerSlam. If he was, then he faces AJ for the belt. But if he's not, then he has to give up the title, and it will be vacant. So that was the storyline going into the night. And in the end, later tonight, we'll get to that later, but we found out what was going to happen at SummerSlam. So he had CM Punk come out. He put over Gunther as a tough opponent, and then Gunther interrupts, and this was a quick promo. Gunther says he's the best in the world because he's the world champion. He says he's going to maul Punk and choke him out. Left the ring. I mean, it was really Gunther getting the last word here. Punk didn't really get much in here at all, so it was just all right to me. But clearly Gunther looked better in the promo here. I'm guessing Punk's going to win, and Seth might cash in because there's stuff around Seth that he might not be as hurt as he's letting on, as we know. He might actually have an injury, but it might not be as serious. The whole thing on Saturday's main event might have just been a work. So I'm interested to see where this goes, but I kind of think Punk for this match is going to beat Gunther. Byron Saxton interviewed Stephanie Vaquer backstage, and oh my God, that woman is incredibly attractive. Her outfits, her black top, yeah, it looked really good. I'm not going to lie. But Naomi immediately interrupted her. And they're trying to promote the match in Paris. They're kind of telling you this is what's going to happen. I think it's pretty obvious. It's Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. I thought Naomi was awful here. She didn't seem crazy. She seemed just annoying. It was kind of like the Naomi and the Team Bad gimmick, where it was just extremely cringe. And here I just thought it was awful. I'm not going to lie. I thought she sucked here. I'm already sick of her title reign. I really want Io or Rhea, one of them, to win at SummerSlam. They won't, and I don't think Stephanie's going to win at Clash in Paris. I think Naomi's going to crown Jewel in Australia, where she'll drop the belt to Rhea Ripley on that show. Rusev was out next. He faced Sheamus. Not much here. It was just an alright match to me. So Rusev takes his first loss since returning to the WWE. I'm not too surprised because I think they're going to do a long-term feud, and he did beat Sheamus. I think Rusev will still win this feud with Sheamus, but it's his first loss here. He exposed the turnbuckle. It backfired. He went headfirst in the turnbuckle, and Sheamus hit him with the brogue. And he hit him right in the ear on the brogue. It looked really good, actually. So Sheamus gets the win. Byron Saxton was interviewing El Grande Americano backstage. Dragon Lee calls him fake and disrespectful. They brawl backstage. New Day are out, and right when they came out, I thought, oh, time for a bathroom break. I don't want to see these guys. These guys have go-away heat with me. Bayley was backstage, and Lyra came up to her, and she was mad because she made the match tonight. Bayley, I thought, was clearly being deceptive. She's saying, oh, we were supposed to face them at WrestleMania. No, we were supposed to face Raquel and Liv, not Raquel and Roxanne, but I think it's fairly obvious Bayley's turning on Lyra very soon. And we're going to get a heel Bayley once again. New Day against LWO against American Made, so it's a number one contenders match. I mean, who would watch this match? I didn't give a shit. LWO, they won. Who cares? The whole thing was trying to build up a feud between Dragon Lee and El Grande Americano, and neither of them were even in the match. I mean, the Raw Tag Division sucks so bad. I mean, I kind of wish SmackDown had the extra half hour some weeks so they could just feature the tag division. But, yeah, I do prefer SmackDown as 2 hours instead of 3 still. So, backstage, in the locker room, Io Sky was talking to Kairi Sane and Asuka, her good friends, former Damage Control partners. I'm not sure if Damage Control is even still a thing since Dakota Kai was let go, but they all want to regain their titles. Io wants to regain the Women's World title. Asuka and Kairi want to get their Women's Tag Team titles back. After they leave, Stephanie Vaquer walked in the locker room, and she talked to Io about a match they could have at Clash in Paris. Io challenges Stephanie to a match tonight, and she brought up before that She had Stephanie beat in her last match. I think she was talking about the night after WrestleMania on that show. It's been a few months. But she wants the match tonight. This got a huge pop. When she mentioned the match tonight, the Houston fans went unglued. They loved this. Stephanie accepted the match, and we get Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer tonight. And to kind of mention that black top Stephanie was wearing backstage once again, yeah, I just have to mention that. So this was on the break, but Vic Joseph is interviewing the current TNA champion Trick Williams, who retained his title at Slammiversary. In front of the live crowd, they boo him. They were promoting NXT tomorrow night heavily at the 713 Music Hall, and the show's in Houston, so they want people to go to the show. I'm not sure. I think the tickets are pretty good, I assume, but they mentioned how he will confront The Undertaker tomorrow in Houston. So you have Undertaker in Houston. I'm not sure where he lives, but Houston, they used to build him as from Houston, Texas when he was the American Badass. Trick took a couple of shots at The Undertaker, and they're really promoting the confrontation tomorrow night on NXT. Adam Pearce talked to Dom backstage. He bumps into AJ dressed as a janitor. New Day walk in. I just thought they need to go away. Grayson Waller walked up to them. Says he's done with Theory because he's injured. So, A10 Down Under is officially dead now, and he wants to join the New Day. Becky Lynch was out next, and she was dressed in red leather pants and a red jacket, also leather, with a white shirt. And I thought, we don't get the red and yellow color scheme. I thought she was going to be Becky Hogan every week, but it's red and white this week instead of red and yellow. She calls Lyra to the ring. She comes out. Lyra didn't get much of a pop. Becky demands that if she wins, Lyra can no longer challenge for the Intercontinental title. Lyra accepts, but she wants a no disqualification, no count-out match at SummerSlam. I thought, we were getting a street fight with Cody and Cena. Are we getting too many gimmick matches at SummerSlam? But the match is set for that. Becky asks Lyra to shake her hand. She goes for it, but Becky went for a cheap shot. However, Lyra caught her, and she hit a manhandle slam. Becky's own move onto her, so she stood tall over Becky, or we thought. Bayley comes out next to team with Lyra. Then we get Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of Judgment Day defending their women's tag team titles against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So Dom was interfering multiple times. Ref was distracted. Eventually, AJ Styles was dressed as a doctor, and he attacked Dom in a way, but not like attacking him, but like the way a doctor would. And Dom sold it really well, but the ref was upset with AJ, so he's distracted by AJ, and at the same time, Lyra is on the apron, and that's when Becky appears from under the ring and attacks Lyra, and the ref was looking at AJ, so he is back distracted. This leaves Bayley alone with Raquel and Roxanne. Eventually, she's pinned by Raquel after a Tejano bomb in Texas. So Raquel gets the win in Judgment Day. Roxanne retained her tag team titles. Jackie Redmond interviewed Sami Zayn before his match at Karrion Kross tonight. He admits he's not 100%. Then we get Sami and Karrion making their entrances. Backstage, Pierce tells Dom to get evaluated in medical or he's stripped of the Intercontinental title. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross was next. Fans weren't into this match. They were even doing the Firefly during the break. I can see it, and when they came back, you can still see some of the camera lights on. Not a good reflection for Kross, unfortunately, but he's still massively over. It was dueling chants, and that tells you with how popular Sami is, how over Kross has gotten, but that was not good. So Scarlett handed Karrion Kross a lead pipe, and he hit Sami in the ribs, then pinned him. After the match, Kross was busted open, and him and Scarlett actually shared a bloody kiss after the match. And Scarlett kept trying to wipe Kross's blood off her face, and she kind of couldn't. I just thought that was actually a funny touch. Adam Pearce and AJ are outside the doctor's office where Dom was being evaluated, but Dom jumped AJ from behind. He announces he's cleared, and he's going to face him for the Intercontinental title. He'll defend his title against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Io Sky was out next. Then Stephanie Vaquer came out at the break to a decent pop. Or actually a very good pop. Both of them came out to good pops. Both were very over. You got dueling chants to start off the match. Fans really liked both of them. We got some chain wrestling to start. Some multiple dives to the outside. I think it was Stephanie hit a crossbody to the outside. Later in the match, Io hit a springboard moonsault to the outside. Stephanie hit the Devil's Kiss on the apron, which got a big pop. Then she rolled Io into the ring with her legs still wrapped around her head. And then she hit another Devil's Kiss, series of Devil's Kisses, in the middle of the ring. That was cool. There was a "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. They were really into this. There was a crazy spot where Stephanie Vaquer hit a corkscrew DDT onto Io Sky from the top rope, and it was like a reverse DDT. That's what it was actually. And Io landed, and she actually landed almost on her face. It was kind of scary. However, after that spot, the Secret Service, Alba Fire, and I almost said Isla Dawn. She's been gone for a while. Sorry. Isla Dawn. She's been, Alba Fire and Piper Niven. They came out, and what happens is they're distracting Stephanie Vaquer, and Chelsea Green is the one who then jumps Stephanie Vaquer, causing a disqualification. So technically a Stephanie win here. But they attack Stephanie and they attack Io. But Io fights them off with Stephanie, and the Secret Service retreats. And then Naomi jumps him from behind, and then she's really beating down Io for a while until Rhea Ripley makes a save, just gets a massive pop. Rhea was so over here. She was the second most over person on the show behind Roman Reigns. Massive pop, clears the ring. Then she gives Chelsea Green a riptide, gets a big pop, and Io, Rhea, and Stephanie stand tall together as the three faces. Two of which, Rhea and Io, will face Naomi in a triple threat match for the women's title at SummerSlam. Speaking of which, Cole and Graves preview the SummerSlam card. Byron Saxon interviews the Judgment Day and for the live crowd at the break. They cut promos on all their opponents, and then they all pose with their belts. And we saw Heyman, Braun, and Bronson all coming to the ring during the break. And when we come back, Paul Heyman speaks a few words before Roman Reigns' music hit, and quite the long promo here. Roman appears, he's massively over. Fans won't let Paul talk, they're chanting OTC like crazy. Heyman says that Rollins is gone for a long time. I don't think that's true. He tries to recruit Roman back. Roman rejects. Roman tells Braun that Paul will betray him just like he did to him. Roman says Paul took all the credit for success. Roman's crediting the crowd. I'm thinking, I mean, you were a heel the whole time. I like Roman as the OTC. I just don't like when he's pandering to the crowd. When he does that, and when he's trying to be funny, it reminds me of the Big Dog. It reminds me of that character who was awful. I like Roman a lot, but he needs to just be the tribal chief. Even if it's a heel kind of gimmick, that's what gets him over. Don't pander to the crowd. Don't be the Big Dog. The OTC is great, but not really the OTC, the tribal chief, the head of the table. That's what we want. And Roman says Paul took the credit, but Roman then, in addition to the fans, he put over the Usos and Sammy and Solo, he mentioned, who were all helping him. Roman's promo just went on for too long. It needed to happen, but I just felt like it went on too long. Braun kept confronting Roman. Roman kept telling him to back up. Braun says he's the big dog now. He tells Roman to leave. Roman says he couldn't hear them. He hands Braun his mic and hits a Superman punch. However, Braun and Bronson beat down Roman for a while. Roman took a spear. He's getting beat up, but then we all knew Jey Uso would make the save as he did. They fought him off. They both hit double spears, and the tag match is likely for SummerSlam. Roman and Jey against Braun and Bronson is probably the direction, and that's how Raw ended tonight. I thought the last segment just went on way too long. I don't think Roman's a good promo still, even though he's massively over. It's just not the best promo. But it was effective, and Io and Stephanie I liked a lot. The last hour I thought was probably the best part, but there's parts, especially earlier in the show, in the first hour, where it just dragged on for an eternity, it seemed. In terms of building up SummerSlam, I think they're doing a decent job. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. They're doing a good job of building it up. So we'll see what happens. I do think SummerSlam is going to be a lot better than WrestleMania is this year, or was this year. But overall, I thought the show was all right. The fans in Houston were into it. Sold-out crowd. Texas loves its wrestling, no doubt. But I felt I felt the last hour was definitely better, and the last segment, even though it went on too long, it did set up the match for SummerSlam. So we will see what happens next.